Hi everyone, my name is Mattis Namgyel and I am a Tibetan Buddhist teacher. I have been a meditator for many years, but the first time I ever felt inspired to seek out a spiritual life was when I was a young girl, maybe 5 or 6, living in Los Angeles, California. I was a very shy little girl and I liked to spend time in my room by myself. I had a map of the world on the wall and a little metal tin box of treasures that I would take out and look inside. There were small stones, little pieces of furniture, and crystals that I would take out and hold in my hands and look at them. I could stare at those stones for hours. That day, I was holding a little prism that my mom had bought me, and as I stared at it, I could feel myself connecting with the whole world. I even felt taller, like I was growing, right there. I wanted to share this experience with someone, so I went to find my mom. She was in the kitchen working. She didn't usually stop working, but that time she put everything down and she listened to what I was saying. I don't remember exactly what she told me, but I remember feeling supported, or that she said something supportive. Over time, there were other places where I would go to seek out the same sense of connection as my little crystal box. There was the churchyard around the corner from my house. I would walk by it sometimes. I didn't go inside, but from the street I could see many prayer candles burning from the window, which always made me happy. There was also the curb by the bushes outside, next to a Venus flytrap. I didn't like the Venus flytrap so much, but I would go out there early before anyone else was awake, and I would sit in silence and I would watch the sunrise over the city and see the sky fill up with light, and I would feel that taller sense of connectedness. There was the Bodhanath Stupa in Nepal where I lived after college. About 20 years later, that is where I would eventually connect to the Buddhist path. I lived on the second story of a mud building just across the street with an open window facing the large white dome of the stupa. Every day I could hear the chanting and the shouting from below the window. You could see all kinds of people circumambulating the stupa, saying prayers, lighting candles, swindling tourists, and begging for alms. If I stuck my head out the window, I'd be hit in the face by all the smells coming from the street. Of course, there was incense and wet dog and street food and burning lamps and the open gutters. Across the road, looking down on me, you could see one pair of the stupa's 4 pairs of eyes just staring right into the window. In the evening, people would light butter lamps all over the stupa. There would be thousands of lamps covering the surface and filling the air with light. The color of the stupa was the same as the walls of my room back home, where I had my little tin box and the map upon the wall. The map on the wall was a map of the world, and for every country there was a picture of a child from that country. My favorite out of all the children I had on the wall was a little girl dressed in a sari with a red bindi, a little red dot coming right out of her forehead, and that was my favorite out of all.